Galactic Council burns human diplomat alive. Humanity unleashes its full might. Ethan Cole walked into the council chamber with calm steps. The chamber was enormous, stretching higher than any building on Earth. Its walls shimmered with alien metals that no human mind could fully understand. Hundreds of delegates from dozens of species filled the room. Some had scales, some had multiple eyes, some had shapes that made Ethan's stomach twist, but he did not flinch. He knew he was there to speak for all of humanity. He took a deep breath and looked across the council. Their eyes were cold, curious, and sometimes openly hostile. He could feel their judgments, but he did not let them shake him. Ethan raised his voice, steady and clear. "I come from a planet called Earth. Humans want peace. Humans want to trade, learn, and grow together with the galaxy. We do not seek war." The aliens murmured among themselves. Some laughed quietly. One of the larger delegates, a blue-skinned creature with spindly arms, leaned forward and hissed in its language. The translator beeped and rendered it in English. "Humans are weak. They speak, but they cannot survive. They will fail as all weak species fail." Ethan's lips pressed together, but he continued. He spoke of human ingenuity, of how Earth had survived catastrophes, wars, and disease, always growing stronger. He reminded the council that humans had crossed the oceans, built machines that reached the sky, and even sent probes into the stars. He spoke with pride, not arrogance. A smaller alien, almost like a floating orb with flickering lights, glimmered and said, "We do not care about your stories. Humans are untested. They are dangerous only because they are unpredictable. They should be controlled or destroyed." Ethan paused. His heart pounded, but he did not show fear. He knew his life could end at any moment. He knew the council did not care about fairness, but he also knew that humans were counting on him to stand firm. "We are not unpredictable," he said. "We are capable, intelligent, and willing to prove ourselves. Give humanity a chance, and you will see we can be your allies, not your enemies." A hush fell over the chamber. The council debated among themselves, voices rising and falling in strange, alien tones. Ethan could not understand most of the words, but he understood the meaning. They did not want humans to rise. They wanted a warning, not a diplomat. Without warning, the chair of the council slammed a clawed hand onto a crystal podium. The sound echoed across the chamber. "Enough," it thundered. The translators made it sound like a roar. "Humanity is guilty of arrogance. We see your words. We see your pride, but we will not allow your kind to spread beyond your weak planet. The punishment is death." Ethan's blood ran cold. He had expected hostility, threats, even insults. He had not expected this. The chamber erupted in cheers and clicks and hisses. Some of the aliens seemed excited, as if witnessing a rare ritual. Guards approached Ethan. They carried a strange device that pulsed with red light. It hovered in front of him as if alive. Ethan felt its heat, subtle at first, then rising quickly. He stood still, arms at his sides, chin lifted. He refused to scream. As the energy device started to glow brighter, Ethan spoke one last time. "Humans will never kneel. You can destroy me, but you cannot destroy humanity. We will rise, we will grow, you will see what we can do." The chamber went silent for a moment. Then the energy hit him. A scream tore from his chest, though he tried to choke it back. His body burned, but his mind stayed sharp. He focused on the image of Earth, on the oceans, forests, mountains, and cities he loved. He thought of his sister, Lisa, waiting for his return, and the millions of humans who trusted him. Outside the chamber, ships recorded the event. Signals carried Ethan's death across the galaxy. Distant worlds watched, alien faces reflecting approval, disgust, and curiosity. The council believed this would terrify humans. They believed humanity would bow, retreat, and beg for mercy. On Earth, the broadcast arrived within minutes. People everywhere froze in horror. Streets emptied as screens flickered with the image of Ethan Cole screaming, consumed by alien fire. Families clutched each other, soldiers stood silent, and leaders closed their mouths, unable to speak. The humans did not know what to do first. Grief, shock, and anger battled within them. Lisa Cole sank to the floor. Her brother was gone, taken in a brutal act that made no sense. She had admired him, trusted him, and now she felt powerless. Yet something inside her sparked. She remembered Ethan's words, "Humans will never kneel." She clenched her fists. She would make sure the galaxy understood that humanity did not break. Humanity would respond. The military leaders of Earth gathered immediately. Admirals like John Carter, generals like Alex Brown, and strategists like Claire Young looked at the feeds in silence. No one spoke for long minutes. They all knew what the council had done. They had made a mistake, a huge mistake. The war rooms buzzed with activity. Ships that had been in storage were prepared. Engineers rushed to refit old vessels. Weapons were checked, calibrated, and armed. Humans worked without sleep. They did not shout or panic. They did not call for revenge yet. They prepared. They prepared completely. In the quiet of the night, Lisa Cole met with commanders. She said only one thing, her voice steady. They burned him alive. They made their choice. Now it is our turn to make ours. We will not beg. We will not plead. We will show them humanity. Far from Earth, scouts in deep space noticed unusual human activity. Human ships were moving in ways that no alien race could predict. Fleets that had been hidden appeared at borders, almost like they had jumped from nowhere. Some smaller alien worlds noticed the movement and thought humans were timid. They were wrong. Humanity was silent but deadly. Back at the council, celebrations continued. The delegates believed they had taught humans a lesson. They could not imagine what was coming. Ethan Cole's sacrifice had ignited something the council could never fully understand: the will of a united species. On Earth, families wept, yes, but also trained. Scientists worked to enhance ships, soldiers prepared for combat, and engineers built new weapons. All across the planet, humans remembered Ethan Cole, and all remembered Lisa Cole's words. Humanity will never kneel. They would not beg. They would not fear. They would rise. As the council toasted their victory, no one noticed the small signs of human preparation. Fleets that had been scattered began to converge. Communication networks hummed with encrypted messages. Resources moved across planets in ways aliens could not track. Humanity did not send threats. It did not boast. It acted. And in action, there was power far beyond what the council could imagine. Ethan Cole's death was not the end of human diplomacy. It was the beginning of a force the galaxy had not seen before. Humans would remember, they would prepare, and one day the council would face the consequences of their cruelty. The first step was simple. They would wait, watch, and move when the time was perfect. Humans did not act in panic. Humans acted with purpose. They did not shout, but their silence spoke louder than any roar. Humanity would fight. Humanity would survive. And humanity would win. In the chambers of the council, no one realized that their victory was temporary. The ashes of Ethan Cole carried a message the aliens could not yet read. A message written not in words, but in the determination of an entire species. Humans on Earth stared at the sky, seeing distant lights flicker with alien signals. They did not fear those lights. They watched, learned, and planned. The galaxy had thought humanity weak, but they were about to learn a very different truth. Ethan Cole's voice echoed in their minds, guiding them. Humans will never kneel. The broadcast of Ethan Cole's death reached every corner of Earth within minutes. People stopped their daily lives as the images flickered across screens. Children clutched their parents, soldiers froze mid-step, and leaders stared at the images in disbelief. The council had thought their act would terrify humanity into submission, but they had miscalculated. Lisa Cole sat in her small apartment, tears streaming down her face. She had always admired her brother's courage and patience. Now he was gone, consumed by alien fire for doing what humans had always done: speak for peace. She buried her face in her hands and whispered, "We will not kneel, Ethan. We will not." She clenched her fists and felt a spark ignite inside her. That spark would not die. It would grow into a flame that would sweep across the planet. Military leaders convened in emergency sessions. Admiral John Carter and General Alex Brown gathered in a reinforced war room. Massive screens displayed the council chamber, the energy device, and the screams that no human could forget. Silence filled the room at first, a heavy, tense silence. Then Alex Brown finally spoke, his voice low but firm. "They burned him alive. We cannot forgive this. Humanity must respond." Engineers and technicians began preparations immediately. Factories that had produced civilian vehicles and equipment were converted to build ships, weapons, and supplies. Assembly lines ran 24 hours a day, churning out small but powerful spacecraft, drones, and energy weapons. Even old ships were upgraded with stronger shields and faster engines. Humanity did not panic. It acted. It acted with calm precision. Lisa Cole met with a group of leaders and strategists. Her presence was not just symbolic, it was crucial. She was a reminder of what the Council had done and why humanity could not fail. She spoke quietly, clearly, and with determination. "They killed Ethan. They thought we would beg or collapse. They are wrong. We will show them what humans can do. We will prepare and we will act, but we will do it right. We will not repeat their mistakes." While preparations continued on Earth, humans in space moved quietly. Scouts and sensors were deployed along the borders of known space. Small ships traveled at high speed, observing alien systems and recording movements. Alien patrols noticed humans moving in ways they had not predicted. Fleets appeared to vanish and reappear, confusing observers. The Council believed humanity was disorganized. They could not have been more wrong. Every human on Earth understood that Ethan Cole's death had changed everything. Civilians trained with weapons, engineers designed new systems, and soldiers studied alien technology. The knowledge humans had gained through years of observation was now put into action. Humanity's defenses were no longer passive. They were precise, efficient, and coordinated. Lisa Cole worked with a group of strategists to develop communication protocols. Humans could no longer rely on casual transmissions. Messages were encrypted, routed through multiple satellites, and disguised to appear like natural signals. Even if aliens tried to intercept them, the content would remain hidden. Humans had learned from watching the Council's methods. Intelligence and information would become humanity's weapon before a single shot was fired. On the Council station, delegates celebrated. They believed they had struck fear into humanity's heart. They could not imagine that humans were preparing in silence. Even minor alien worlds watched and mocked, thinking humans were weak, emotional, and impulsive. They did not see that humanity's patience was far stronger than their bravado. In one human research lab, scientists developed a new type of propulsion. It allowed ships to jump short distances faster than any alien fleet expected. Engineers ran simulations day and night, testing weapons that could target alien systems with pinpoint accuracy. Humanity's goal was not to destroy every world immediately. It was to prepare, strike efficiently, and avoid unnecessary losses. Discipline would be humanity's secret strength. Families across Earth contributed in their own ways. Farmers delivered raw materials for shipbuilding. Teachers coordinated educational programs to train technicians, and medics learned new medical procedures for potential injuries. Every person understood their role. The death of Ethan Cole had united the planet. For the first time, humans were acting as one species, focused, determined, and unstoppable. Lisa Cole made public broadcasts to inspire and unite the people. She spoke without anger, without threats. Her words were simple, clear, and powerful. "Our brother died for peace." The Council thought they could crush us with fear. They were wrong. Humanity will prepare. Humanity will protect itself. We will never kneel. These words were repeated across screens, radios, and networks. Humans listened and acted. The Council's plan had backfired spectacularly. In space, human pilots trained tirelessly. They learned alien maneuvers, tactics, and signals. They studied alien psychology. Young pilots like Samuel Grant and Claire Davis pushed themselves to limits they had never known. Humans were not only preparing for battle, they were learning to think like the Council's species, anticipating their decisions and reactions. Adaptability became their greatest weapon. The Council sent scouts to observe Earth. They recorded industrial activity, fleet movements, and communication signals. They reported that humans were building, but they underestimated the scale and speed. What they saw was a fraction of what was actually happening. Earth's hidden fleets were expanding quietly, leaving behind fake signals to confuse alien spies. The Council felt confident, blind to the truth. Lisa Cole visited military bases personally, inspiring soldiers and engineers. She spoke with cadets who had never seen combat, telling them about Ethan's bravery. He faced a council that did not value life. He spoke for all of humanity. You may never meet him, but his spirit is with you. Train hard. Think clearly. Humanity's survival depends on all of us. Her words motivated everyone. Even those who had doubts found purpose. As Earth prepared, intelligence reports indicated that the Council's members were dividing. Some were proud, some were afraid, and some were overconfident. Humans studied these weaknesses. Strategies were built not just for battle but for disruption. Supply lines, command networks, and communications were mapped. Human scientists created drones to infiltrate alien systems and feed false information, confusing Council members further. Within months, the transformation of humanity was remarkable. Old ships were upgraded beyond alien imagination. New fleets emerged from secret locations. Weapons that had only existed in theory were tested and perfected. Humans had not rushed blindly. Every step had been calculated. The Council believed they were strong, but humanity's patience had allowed them to grow far beyond the aliens' expectations. Lisa Cole and the commanders planned the first demonstration of humanity's power. It would not be immediate destruction, but a warning. The Council must understand that humans did not seek revenge alone. Humans demanded recognition, respect, and space to grow. The demonstration would be precise, overwhelming, and undeniable. The galaxy would learn that humans did not strike without reason, but when they did, they struck decisively. On the night before the first movement, Lisa Cole looked at the stars. Distant lights flickered with alien signals. She thought of Ethan Cole and the promise he had made to humanity through his final words. She whispered, "We will rise. We will show them what humans can do. We will protect our own and we will survive." A gentle wind moved through the open windows, carrying the scent of earth, oceans, forests, and cities. She felt a connection between all humans, all working toward the same goal. In secret, human fleets moved to their first positions. Each ship was piloted with skill, each crew trained to perfection. No one spoke unnecessarily. The human fleets communicated through silent codes and signals that aliens could not read. They waited for the perfect moment. The galaxy believed humans were disorganized, emotional, and weak. They could not have been more wrong. The Council continued to celebrate, believing the death of Ethan Cole had made them safe. They did not realize that humanity's strength had grown in that moment of tragedy. The death of one human had united billions, turned grief into determination, and fear into patience. Humans had learned that patience could be stronger than technology, planning stronger than brute force, and unity stronger than arrogance. As night turned to day, humans all over Earth prepared for the next step. Soldiers checked weapons, engineers checked engines, and scientists checked calculations. Families supported the effort quietly. Every human acted with purpose. No one shouted, no one feared, no one doubted. Humanity's response was calm, controlled, and inevitable. The galaxy could not stop it, not yet. Lisa Cole's final orders for the night were simple. Rest now, train tomorrow, move when needed, remember why we fight. Remember Ethan Cole, humanity will rise. She looked at the stars one last time and felt a quiet pride. Humans had not yet struck, but they were ready. They were strong. They were united. The galaxy would see their power soon, and no one would ever forget it. The Council did not notice the signs at first. They believed humanity was broken, that the fire of Ethan Cole's death had ended human courage. The delegates laughed at reports of small fleets moving along borders, thinking it was minor drills or uncoordinated panic. The galaxy had underestimated humans again. Human scouts traveled quietly in deep space, observing alien patrols and supply lines. These scouts sent encrypted signals back to Earth, detailing every weakness. Ships were counted, routes were mapped, and schedules were predicted. Humans did not just gather information, they learned alien behavior, patterns, and mistakes. In one council station, a young analyst named Claire Young noticed anomalies in the data. She had been trained to track human movements, but the numbers did not add up. Ships disappeared from known systems only to appear in unexpected locations. Patrols reported seeing signals that vanished before they could be traced. She raised the alarm, but her superiors dismissed her. Humans were weak, she was told. They could not organize fleets at this scale. Far from the Council, humans moved in silence. Captain Samuel Grant commanded one fleet that appeared to vanish from sensors. He and his crew ran simulations, tested engines, and reviewed strategies until every decision was second nature. Humanity's strength did not rely on weapons alone. It relied on preparation, adaptation, and coordination. On Earth, Lisa Cole oversaw multiple teams simultaneously. One group worked on communications, another on logistics, and a third on weapon systems. She coordinated these teams as if conducting a symphony. Every move was deliberate, every calculation precise. Humans were ready, but they waited. They waited because the Council must underestimate them until the moment was perfect. Alien worlds began to notice that something was wrong. Their patrols reported strange patterns in human signals, unusual fleet positions, and ships that seemed to disappear and reappear randomly. They reported these findings to the Council, expecting praise for their vigilance. Instead, they were ignored. The Council still believed humanity was weak and scattered. They had no idea how wrong they were. In one remote sector, a small alien fleet encountered human scouts. They expected chaos or surrender. Instead, the humans moved with precision. Their ships coordinated perfectly, and their attacks were efficient but restrained. The aliens withdrew, stunned. They reported back, but their voices were tinged with fear, a feeling the Council could not yet understand. Claire Young continued to analyze human movements. Her unease grew as she noticed patterns that made no sense for a weak species. She reported to her superior, "They are organized. They are learning our tactics. They are preparing for something large. If we do not act, it could be too late." Her superior waved her off, laughing at what he called paranoia. The Council's arrogance blinded them. On Earth, soldiers trained relentlessly. Pilots like Claire Davis and Alex Reed flew simulations over alien systems, practicing maneuvers that aliens thought were impossible. Engineers tested weapons that could strike multiple targets with precision. Every human understood that patience was now their weapon, and preparation was their shield. Lisa Cole reviewed reports from scouts across multiple sectors. She could see the alien fleets reacting slowly, overconfident, and unaware. Humanity had set traps, planned maneuvers, and prepared supply chains that could operate in silence. They had learned patience, and patience was far more dangerous than recklessness. The Council grew restless. Small worlds reported unusual signals, Patrols were disrupted, and some systems went dark. Delegates argued over the anomalies, but none could locate the source. Fear began to creep into their discussions, though none would admit it openly. They still believed humans would act without strategy, but the evidence told another story. Humans began moving hidden fleets into strategic positions. They did not attack yet. They avoided detection, used false signals, and disguised their ships to appear like asteroids or empty space debris. Humans had learned from watching the Council's tactics, and now they turned those lessons into their own advantage. In a command center on Earth, Lisa Cole met with John Carter and Alex Brown. Maps of known space were projected in front of them. She traced the positions of fleets, supply lines, and communication hubs. "We do not strike yet," she said. "We let them underestimate us. We let them celebrate. We wait until the moment is perfect, then we show them humanity's full strength." The generals nodded. Strategy, patience, and timing were now their weapons. In several sectors, alien fleets noticed that humans were not just hiding, they were learning and adapting. Some attempted to intercept human scouts, but they failed. Humans anticipated their movements, avoided ambushes, and returned data to Earth. The Council began to receive reports of failure after failure, and whispers of fear spread among the delegates. Claire Young continued her analysis, now frantic. "They are moving faster than we can predict. Every time we think we have an advantage, it disappears. They are everywhere and we cannot see them all." Her reports were now taken seriously, but it was too late to reverse the underestimation. The seeds of fear had begun to take root. On Earth, Lisa Cole oversaw the final preparations. Every fleet had supplies, every crew was trained, every system tested. Humans had waited for months, building, training, and planning. Now they were ready to act, but they waited until the Council's arrogance was complete. The galaxy believed humanity was weak. Humans believed the galaxy was ready to learn a lesson. In deep space, human fleets moved silently to key positions. Supply lines were hidden, engines calibrated, and weapons systems ready. Pilots trained in simulated combat scenarios now faced real threats in practice drills. The crews were confident, not reckless. Humanity's strength was discipline, coordination, and the will to survive. Alien worlds began to whisper about the unusual movements. "Humans are unpredictable," one delegate said. "We cannot understand their actions." The Council dismissed these comments, laughing at the suggestion. They had made a fatal mistake. They assumed that humans would act like other species. Humans did not act like other species. They thought differently, planned differently, and now prepared in silence. Lisa Cole walked through the control room. She spoke to engineers and pilots alike. "Remember why we fight. Remember Ethan Cole. Remember that we do not strike without reason, but when we strike, we do so decisively. Every action matters. Every life matters. Humanity will not kneel, but humanity will be respected." Her voice inspired calm determination. Humans moved not out of anger, but out of purpose. In several small alien systems, human scouts disrupted communications. They sent false signals, intercepted messages, and created confusion. Alien patrols could not determine the source. Minor fleets reported failures repeatedly. Fear grew, though the Council remained in denial. Humans were everywhere and nowhere, moving with precision and patience. On Earth, Lisa Cole and the commanders coordinated the final stages of preparation. Ships were in position, crews trained, and humans ready. Patience had been humanity's greatest weapon. The galaxy believed humans were weak, emotional, and disorganized. Humans knew the truth. They were strong, patient, and unstoppable. Finally, reports reached the Council that could not be ignored. Fleets that had appeared scattered were now in strategic locations. Patrols that had intercepted humans found nothing. Supply lines were disrupted in ways the Council could not explain. Claire Young begged the Council to act, but her warnings came too late. The humans had already hidden their strength where it could not be seen, only revealed at the perfect moment. On Earth, Lisa Cole gathered the top commanders. The Council believes we are weak. They think our actions are disorganized. We are ready. Every fleet, every crew, every weapon is prepared. We strike when we choose. Humanity's patience ends now. Her words spread across every command center. Humans waited no longer. Preparation had become action. Discipline had become power. Determination had become unstoppable. In space, human fleets moved into final positions. Sensors scanned alien systems, mapping defenses, identifying targets and predicting reactions. Every action was calculated. Every movement was precise. The galaxy believed humanity was chaotic. Humans had proven the opposite. They were methodical, patient, and relentless. In the council chamber, delegates began to sense something wrong. Reports of missing ships, failed patrols, and strange signals could not be explained. Fear replaced arrogance, but it was not yet total. The council believed they could still contain humanity, but their assumptions were now fragile. The humans they thought weak were ready to show the consequences of underestimation. Lisa Cole watched the stars from her command room. She thought of Ethan Cole, of his sacrifice, and of the promise he had made to humanity. Humans will never kneel. That promise had guided them through preparation, training, and strategy. Now, the galaxy would learn that humanity was not to be taken lightly. The first moves were silent, small, and deliberate. Fleets adjusted positions, scouts returned with perfect information, and humans avoided unnecessary engagements. The Council could not detect the full scale of humanity's readiness. They had celebrated too early. They had underestimated patience, coordination, and discipline. Every human understood their role. Soldiers, engineers, pilots, and civilians all contributed. Humanity had transformed from a scattered species into a single force, united by purpose and determination. The galaxy believed humans were impulsive and emotional. Humans had shown the opposite. They were patient, precise, and unstoppable. As night fell on Earth, Lisa Cole made her final preparations. Fleets were in position, crews ready, and humans calm but determined. The galaxy had believed they were weak. The moment of revelation would come soon. Humans would not strike blindly. They would strike decisively, efficiently, and in a way that no one could ignore. The patience of humanity had ended, and the Council would learn the cost of arrogance. Human fleets moved silently through deep space. Every ship was in position, every crew ready, and every weapon prepared. The galaxy believed humans were weak and scattered. They had no idea what was about to happen. Admiral John Carter stood on the bridge of his flagship, surveying the stars. Beside him, Captain Claire Davis monitored the fleet movements. "All ships report ready," she said. "Engines, weapons, and shields at full capacity." "Humans are prepared," Carter nodded, his face calm. He knew that humans would strike with precision, not panic. This was humanity's strength. On Earth, Lisa Cole watched the fleets on large projection screens. She spoke quietly to the commanders. "Remember, we strike decisively, not recklessly. We do not destroy without reason, but every move must be precise. The Council must understand that humanity is strong, patient, and unstoppable." Her words inspired calm focus. Humans acted with determination, not anger. The First Fleet moved toward the outer systems of the Council-controlled space. They appeared suddenly, jumping from hidden jump points. Scouts confirmed the locations of Council patrols. Humans did not fire immediately. They moved with discipline, avoiding unnecessary engagement, gathering information while remaining invisible to most observers. In the council chamber, delegates began to panic. Reports of disappearing patrols and unexplained signals filled their screens. Some tried to argue that it was a technical glitch. Others whispered that humans were organizing. A few older delegates feared the worst, but arrogance still ruled. They had underestimated humanity for too long. Human fleets struck first at critical points. Supply ships that maintained alien fleets were disabled without destruction. Communication satellites were jammed or captured. Alien ships attempting to intercept humans found themselves trapped by precise maneuvers. Humans used speed, coordination, and intelligence rather than brute force. Captain Samuel Grant led a squadron into a cluster of patrol ships. His pilots moved in perfect formation, avoiding attacks and disabling alien engines with targeted strikes. The aliens were shocked. They expected chaos, not precision. Human ships moved like one organism, coordinated and adaptable. Admiral Carter gave the first order to attack larger fleets. "Engage," he said simply. Human ships struck in waves, targeting command vessels first. Alien officers had no idea who to command or where to direct their forces. Humans focused on strategy, exploiting weaknesses and avoiding unnecessary losses. Each strike was measured, deliberate, and devastating. Lisa Cole broadcast a message to the council. Her image appeared on every screen in the chamber, her voice calm but strong. "You burned Ethan Cole alive. You believed humanity would kneel. You were wrong. We are not weak. We are patient, precise, and united. This is only the beginning. Humanity will not be defeated. You will respect us." The message stunned the council. Silence filled the chamber. Alien fleets attempted to regroup. They formed larger groups, hoping numbers would compensate for strategy. Humans anticipated this. Sensors detected the movement, and fleets adjusted positions, cutting off escape routes and isolating groups. Alien ships were overwhelmed by coordination and speed. Every move humans made was calculated. Young pilots like Claire Davis and Alex Reed executed maneuvers that the aliens could not predict. Human fighters moved between larger ships, disabling engines and weapons with precision strikes. Humans fought as one, not as individuals. Teamwork became their deadliest weapon. In a remote system, a council flagship attempted to escape. Human ships intercepted it before it could leave. They disabled weapons, sealed escape routes, and forced the vessel to surrender. On board, the council officers realized their mistake. Humans were not only organized, they were unstoppable when united. Lisa Cole and the commanders coordinated a second wave. Humans moved to secure planets that supplied resources to the council fleets. They captured bases, refitted supply stations, and turned them to human use. Alien commanders were confused, struggling to respond to attacks that came from unexpected directions. Humanity's speed, intelligence, and patience had given them a decisive advantage. On council worlds, panic spread. Delegates argued about what to do. Some wanted to fight, others wanted to negotiate. Communications were failing, supply lines broken, and fleets destroyed. The galaxy had underestimated humans for too long, and now the consequences were clear. Human fleets advanced steadily, striking only where necessary. Ships that could flee were allowed to escape after being disabled, leaving alien crews alive to witness humanity's power. Humans wanted witnesses. They wanted the council to understand the cost of underestimation. Discipline guided every decision. Humanity was not reckless. Humanity was precise, unstoppable, and united. Admiral Carter led the main strike force to the Council's central command hub. Human ships surrounded the station, preventing escape. Humans disabled defensive systems without destroying the station. The Council would see the consequences of their actions firsthand. Lisa Cole broadcast a message to the hub. "You watched Ethan Cole burn. Now you will see humanity's strength. We strike not to destroy, but to teach. Respect us, or your systems will fall." Inside the council chamber, delegates panicked. Alarms sounded, systems failed, and officers ran in confusion. Some hid, others tried to organize a defense, but it was too late. Human ships had disabled their weapons, jammed their communications, and cut off supply lines. Humanity had struck with precision and patience, showing both mercy and power. Human pilots continued to disable alien weapons and engines systematically. Ships that resisted were targeted for capture or neutralization. Humans avoided unnecessary destruction, showing control, intelligence, and discipline. Alien fleets could not comprehend this level of coordination and patience. Humans were everywhere and nowhere at once. Lisa Cole's message repeated across all council channels. We are humanity, we were patient, we prepared. Now you understand what humans can do when united. This is not vengeance. This is a warning. Humanity will survive. Humanity will protect itself. Respect us. The council could not respond. Their systems were paralyzed. Fear spread faster than any communication. Humans had revealed their full might. Captain Samuel Grant led a boarding team onto a council vessel. The aliens had expected destruction, chaos, and panic. Instead, humans moved calmly, efficiently, and with purpose. They disabled weapons, secured critical systems, and allowed the alien crew to live. Humanity's control over the situation was absolute. In orbit around the Council's capital system, human forces disabled defensive grids. Planets that had supplied fleets were captured without unnecessary casualties. Humans secured resources, communication centers, and strategic points. Alien commanders could only watch, realizing that humanity's patience, planning, and coordination had turned the tide of the war before it truly began. On Earth, Lisa Cole and the commanders watched reports from every sector. Humans moved in perfect synchronization, striking when needed and waiting when necessary. Humans had not rushed. Humans had waited. Preparation and patience had given them an advantage the galaxy could not match. Small alien worlds that had previously mocked humanity now scrambled to defend themselves. Fleets retreated, communication lines were cut, and supply chains failed. Humans moved with speed and precision. Every human action was deliberate, every decision calculated. Alien species realized too late that they had underestimated patience, coordination, and intelligence. As the day ended, human fleets controlled critical systems across the Council's territory. Ships returned with reports, scouts confirmed positions, and humans prepared for the next phase. Discipline, planning, and patience had allowed humanity to strike decisively. The Council could no longer assume humans were weak or unorganized. Lisa Cole looked at the stars, thinking of Ethan Cole. His sacrifice had ignited a force that no one in the galaxy had expected. Humanity had shown that patience, preparation, and unity could overcome fear, arrogance, and superior technology. Humans would continue to fight, protect themselves, and demand respect. The galaxy would never forget. Admiral John Carter addressed his fleet. Humanity has struck. We have shown our strength. We have not acted recklessly. We have acted with intelligence, coordination, and patience. Remember why we fight. Humanity will never kneel. Humanity will rise, and the galaxy will respect us. Cheers and calm determination filled the fleet. Every human understood the magnitude of their actions. The Council had watched Ethan Cole burn, thinking they could control humanity through fear. Now they had seen the opposite. Humanity had prepared, learned, and acted with precision. Alien fleets had fallen, supply lines disrupted, and the Central Council hub surrounded. The galaxy was learning a lesson that could not be ignored. Humanity had revealed its full might, not through anger alone, but through discipline, coordination, and unity. Aliens realized that humans were not impulsive, weak, or chaotic. Humans were patient, prepared, and unstoppable. Every fleet, every pilot, every soldier had contributed. Humanity's strength was in its people, its unity, and its determination. Lisa Cole sent a final message across all captured systems. We remember Ethan Cole. We honor him. Humanity will protect itself, and humanity will grow. We do not seek unnecessary destruction, but we will strike with precision, patience, and purpose. Respect humanity, or you will face our full might. The message echoed across the galaxy, clear and undeniable. Human fleets regrouped after the first wave of strikes. Crews repaired systems, analyzed data, and prepared for the next operations. Humans had revealed power, but not all of it. The Council had seen a fraction of what humanity could do. Patience and preparation meant that the greatest force had yet to be fully unleashed. As humans prepared for the next moves, the Council could only watch. Fear replaced arrogance, confusion replaced certainty. Humanity had proven that patience, discipline, and intelligence were far more powerful than brute strength or arrogance. Ethan Cole's sacrifice had not been in vain. Humanity had risen, and the galaxy would never forget the Council had never expected humans to act with such precision. Their fleets were shattered, their supply lines cut, and their central command surrounded. Delegates argued in panic, shouting at one another, blaming subordinates, and trying to organize defenses that no longer existed. The galaxy had underestimated humanity, and now the consequences were clear. Lisa Cole watched the reports from her command center on Earth. Her eyes scanned the screens showing captured Council ships, disabled weapons, and retreating fleets. She remained calm, but her mind focused on the next steps. Humanity had revealed its strength, but the final moves would cement their position in the galaxy. She spoke to the commanders quietly. "We have shown our power. We have been precise, patient, and disciplined. Now we must finish what we started. We do not seek vengeance. We seek justice, order, and respect." Admiral John Carter nodded. He had led fleets into battle, watched alien forces collapse under human strategy, and seen firsthand the effect of patience and preparation. "We act not as conquerors, but as protectors," he said. "Every system we enter, every fleet we face, we act to enforce order and safety." The galaxy must understand that humanity will never kneel, and that respect is not optional. Human fleets moved into the Council's remaining strongholds. They surrounded the largest stations, blocked escape routes, and disabled weapons without unnecessary destruction. Humans acted with control, demonstrating both strength and discipline. Alien commanders could not believe the scale and efficiency of the human operation. They had expected chaos. They found order and precision instead. Lisa Cole broadcast a message across all Council-controlled systems. Her calm voice carried a warning that echoed through the stars. "You burned Ethan Cole alive. You believed that humanity would kneel in fear. You were wrong. Humanity is united, prepared, and unstoppable. We do not seek unnecessary destruction, but we will act decisively to protect ourselves. Respect humans, or face the consequences." The Council members tried to negotiate. Some sent delegates to meet with humans, offering surrender and promises of cooperation. Lisa Cole listened but did not respond immediately. She knew that empty words would mean nothing. Humans did not act from anger but from principle. They had waited, prepared, and struck with purpose. Now the Council would face the results of their own arrogance. Human boarding teams entered Council stations. The aliens had expected violence, but humans acted with control. Weapons were disabled, critical systems secured, and the Council members were isolated from each other. No one was harmed unnecessarily. Humans wanted them to see the cost of underestimating a united species. Humanity had acted decisively, but with discipline. On Earth, engineers and strategists worked to integrate captured technology and resources. Humans had learned from the Council, and now they used that knowledge to improve their fleets, defenses, and systems. The galaxy had thought humans were impulsive. Instead, humans acted with precision, patience, and intelligence. The Council had misjudged them completely. Lisa Cole addressed the surviving Council members directly. Her image appeared on screens across every station, every system, and every fleet. "You have seen what humanity can do. You have witnessed the strength, coordination, and patience of our species. The death of Ethan Cole was a tragedy, but it revealed a truth you could not see. Humanity will never kneel. Respect us, or your systems will remain under our control until you learn to act with integrity and fairness. Alien delegates shivered. They had never imagined that a single species could act so decisively, efficiently, and without chaos. The Council had believed humans were weak, emotional, and disorganized. Now they understood the cost of that belief. Humans were united, patient, and unstoppable when they chose to act. Captain Samuel Grant led a team to secure the Council's central communication hub. They disabled jamming systems, intercepted messages, and ensured that humans controlled the flow of information. Aliens tried to resist, but humans acted as one. Every move was coordinated, precise, and deliberate. The Council could not recover from this control. On distant planets, humans set up observation posts and enforcement teams. Fleets patrolled strategically, ensuring that no Council member could rebuild power unnoticed. Humans had acted decisively, but they did not destroy unnecessarily. They wanted the galaxy to understand that strength came with discipline, not reckless violence. Lisa Cole met with Earth's top commanders. "We have shown the Council our strength. Now we enforce rules, restore order, and make sure history remembers why humanity must be respected. We are not conquerors. We are guardians. Our goal is to prevent the kind of arrogance that burned Ethan Cole alive from happening again." Admiral Carter added, "Every fleet, every pilot, every soldier contributed. Humanity's strength is not in technology alone, but in unity, preparation, and principle. The Council will remember this lesson for generations." Human intelligence teams began documenting the Council's actions, proving crimes, and collecting evidence for galactic tribunals. The goal was not vengeance. Humans acted to ensure accountability. The death of Ethan Cole had been unjust. Now the Council would be judged under human law. Lisa Cole addressed humanity across all channels. Her voice was calm, firm, and inspiring. "Our brother Ethan Cole gave his life for peace. His sacrifice awakened the unity and strength of our species. Humanity has acted not with anger but with purpose. We have shown the galaxy that patience, preparation, and unity make us unstoppable. Respect humanity. Learn from our actions. Remember our resolve." In the Council chamber, delegates were finally forced to surrender. They had lost their fleets, lost control of communications, and lost the support of many minor worlds. Humans were not tyrants, but they were unstoppable when united. The Council realized that their arrogance had brought them to this point. Captured Council members were escorted to human ships. No one was harmed unnecessarily. Humans acted with control, demonstrating both strength and mercy. The galaxy witnessed the consequences of underestimating humanity. Discipline, patience, and intelligence had won where fear and arrogance had failed. On Earth, Lisa Cole and the commanders reviewed the outcomes. Every fleet had returned, every captured station secured, and every objective completed. Humans had revealed their power, enforced accountability, and protected their species. The galaxy would never forget the events that had unfolded. Humanity's actions were deliberate. They had shown the Council the cost of cruelty, the strength of unity, and the value of patience. Aliens had assumed humans would panic, act recklessly, or beg for mercy. Instead, humans had acted with intelligence, discipline, and precision. They had risen, and the galaxy had no choice but to respect them. Lisa Cole gave one final message to the Council. "We have acted with patience, with discipline, and with principle. The galaxy must understand that humanity cannot be ignored. We remember Ethan Cole. We honor him. Humans will protect themselves, and we will continue to grow. Respect humanity. Do not test us again." The message spread across the stars, clear and undeniable. Human fleets returned to Earth orbit. Ships were repaired, data analyzed, and crews celebrated quietly. Humanity had not acted recklessly, but with control. The galaxy had learned a lesson that would be remembered for generations. Humans were patient, united, and unstoppable when they chose to act. Small alien worlds that had once mocked humanity now sent envoys to Earth. They offered cooperation, alliances, and trade. Humans received them calmly. The message had been clear. Respect is earned through understanding strength, discipline, and unity. Humanity had spoken without unnecessary destruction, but the galaxy had listened. Lisa Cole stood on Earth looking at the stars. She thought of Ethan Cole, of his sacrifice, and of the promise that humans would never kneel. She whispered to herself, "We have shown them. We have prepared, acted, and protected. Humanity will rise, and we will never bow to arrogance or cruelty." The council was dismantled. New systems were created with checks and accountability. Human law ensured that no species could act without consequence. The galaxy had learned that patience, intelligence, and unity were as powerful as any weapon. Humans had enforced order, protected their species, and ensured that cruelty would not go unpunished. Humanity's story became a warning, a lesson, and an example. Ethan Cole's name was remembered not just for his death, but for awakening the strength of a united species. Humans had acted decisively, without chaos and with purpose. The galaxy now understood. Humanity would never kneel, humanity would survive, and humanity would always be respected. As peace slowly returned to the controlled sectors, humans continued to train, prepare, and grow. Every soldier, pilot, engineer, and civilian knew the lesson. Patience, preparation, and unity are more powerful than fear, arrogance, or superior technology. Humanity had risen, and no one in the galaxy would forget the cost of underestimating them. Lisa Cole watched the final reports of fleets, stations, and captured council members. Humans had acted perfectly, with discipline, patience, and intelligence. The galaxy had seen humanity's full might. Humanity had proven that it could respond to injustice with strength, that it could act decisively without chaos, and that it could protect itself no matter the odds. The final message was clear across the stars: humans will never kneel. Humanity has risen. Humanity is united. And the galaxy will respect them. Ethan Cole's sacrifice had started this chain of events, but humanity had carried it to completion. The lesson was simple, undeniable, and permanent. The Council had learned what every species must now remember. Humanity is unstoppable when united, patient, and determined.